Hello students, if you remember in last period what we have seen, we have started a new chapter, superposition of wave. How the wave superimpose on each other and how the resultant wave get created, that part already we have seen in last period. And the amplitude of resultant motion, that also we have seen with the principle of superposition of wave. Okay, apart from that, now the next topic is what? Stationary wave that we have to see. As their name says that they are the stationary. Stationary means what? They are steady, or we can say fixed. The wave which are not moving, the wave which remains fixed or steady, that type of waves are said to be steady waves or stationary wave. You can see the waves, but that waves are actually not doing any motion. The velocity of the wave is zero, and that waves are said to be stationary wave. How the stationary wave get produced, that we have to see now. When two exactly identical waves, in all things, their frequency is same, time period is same, amplitude is same. So when two exactly identical waves travel in opposite direction, superimpose with each other, when two exactly same wave travel in opposite direction and they just mix with each other or superimpose with each other, and the resultant wave produced is said to be the stationary wave. Now, how to see this stationary wave production? So let us suppose this is a rigid support, first rigid support. To this, the string is attached. This is the second rigid support. The two rigid support we have taken, and this string is tightly bound between the two support. When we plug the string at the center, just plug it. The wave get created from this center where we have plugged the string. Some of them move toward this end A, some of them move toward the end B. And what will occur at A and B? So this is a rarer medium, these are the denser medium. They get reflected back, and due to that the two waves combine after reflection, and the resultant wave in the form of loop get created, that is said to be stationary waves. So suppose I have drawn this is the first wave. Then this reflected wave comes here and it goes like this. Same way it goes like this, and this type of wave formation is said to be stationary waves. And we can say the stationary wave get formed. Only condition is what? One of them is moving opposite direction. Suppose we consider this wave is moving here in this direction, so this wave moving in this direction. Exactly same and identical wave coming in opposite direction, and they will form such a loop. This is said to be loop. So this is the one loop, this is another loop. Such a loop get formed, and that loop form structure of the wave because of superposition of two waves exactly identical moving in opposite direction. They will form a loop like structure, and this wave is said to be the stationary waves. Now here, as we know, stationary wave get formed like this. But as here in this case, when we consider stationary wave, this formation of stationary wave, this is the point where the frequency, amplitude of here, the 1, 2, 3 and here 4. At this point, displacement is minimum or amplitude is minimum, and these points are said to be node. So node would be represented by capital N. So these are the point where displacement is minimum, or we can say amplitude is minimum or zero. That points are said to be nodes. Apart from this, these are some points in positive direction where the amplitude is maximum, and these points are said to be antinodes, represented by A. So in stationary wave, there is an alternate formation of node, antinode, node, antinode. So node is a point where two waves meet together having a zero amplitude or displacement. Antinode is a point where the amplitude of the vibration of particle is maximum. That is said to be antinode. This is said to be node. I hope you got this. Apart from this, if we consider only single wave here, just forget the total wave. I have just consider single wave. Single wave is like this. So just I have move the rigid support here. Somewhere this is a rigid support. Now this is single wave. Positive and negative part, it will create a single wave. In this situation, what is the length of this wave? So this is single wave. Length of the single wave, this length is said to be wavelength, if you remember, represented by lambda. Okay. Then if this total length of single wave is lambda, how much is this length? This would be lambda by 2. At the same time, this remaining would be lambda by 2. Okay. Then after, from this we can say here there is a node. Here alternate node get formed. What is the distance between the first node and adjacent node? It is lambda by 2. So two adjacent nodes separated from each other by a distance of lambda by 2. Let's go for this part. If this, from this to this distance as we have seen, this is lambda by 2. Suppose I want to find the distance from antinode to this node. How much is this distance? It is lambda by 4. It is lambda by 4, because lambda by 4 plus lambda by 4 is lambda by 2. Now see, what is the distance between two adjacent antinode? So this is the antinode, adjacent is this one. So this, from this place to this place, it is lambda by 4. Again this is lambda by 4. So lambda by 4 plus lambda by 4, it becomes lambda by 2. So two adjacent antinodes are also separated by distance lambda by 2, as well as two adjacent nodes are separated by distance lambda by 2. Apart from this, what is the distance between adjacent node and antinode? Now let's see. This is antinode, this is node. What is the distance? It is lambda by 4. Two adjacent node and antinodes are separated by a distance of lambda by 4. So remember here what we have seen: stationary wave, create a loop-like structure. It is not moving, it is steady wave, fixed, its velocity is 0. In this case, there are 2 points. One is a minimum amplitude or displacement is 0, that is said to be node. This is node, node and node. The point where displacement is maximum, it is said to be antinodes. Nodes, two adjacent node and two adjacent antinodes are separated by a distance of lambda by 2. And adjacent antinode and node, adjacent like this antinode and node, or this antinode and node, adjacent antinode and node, they are separated by distance of lambda by 4. So these are some basic points that we have learned in the stationary wave. Now let's see, mathematically by using two equations, we have to find out some common equation that is said to be equation of stationary wave on straight string. This is a string, we have plug it at the center, so instead of vibrating, it will produce a stationary wave. So what is the equation of stationary wave? So that we have to consider equation of stationary wave. Equation of stationary wave on a straight string. Now here, let us consider the two waves exactly identical, but suppose they get differ from each other in terms of displacement. The two waves which are exactly identical moving in opposite direction. One is moved toward this, other is coming from this, represented by two equations. That is, you can write it like here. So y1 equal to, this is first wave, y1 equal to, here it is a sine of 2 pi in the bracket, a sine of 2 pi in the bracket, and t minus x by lambda. This is the equation for the first wave having displacement y1. Similarly, second wave y2 would be represented by a sine of, in the bracket, 2 pi in the bracket, and t minus x by lambda. This is the second equation. This is the second equation. These equations are just here, it is better to remember. If you remember, when we start this chapter, we have seen equations 6.1 or 6.2 and 6.3. 6.2 and 6.3. I have told you, you have to remember that. Now remember, this is a negative and this must be positive, because this y1 is a wave traveling along positive x-axis, while y2 is a wave coming opposite, it is traveling along negative x-axis. That's why one is the positive, other is negative. Positive means traveling along negative x-axis. Negative sign means it is traveling along positive x-axis. Now according to principle of superposition of wave, resultant amplitude, y is what? Resultant displacement, that is resultant displacement equal to y1 plus y2. Put the values, rewrite the equation. Just we have to put the values and rewrite this equation. So you can write this as a, put this value, sine of, in the bracket, 2 pi nt minus x by lambda plus y2 is a sine of that 2 pi, in the bracket we have to write 2 pi in the bracket nt plus x by lambda. So these are the two equations that we have added together. We get this equation, sine this plus sine this. Now remember, we can consider this as c, we have considered this as a d. Sine c plus sine d. There is one formula in trigonometry you have learned in 9 to 10 standard. There is trigonometrical mathematical formula. Sine c plus sine d is what? 2 sine c plus d by 2 into cos c minus d by 2. That was given in your book also. By using that formula, so we have to use, what is the formula for sine? Suppose this is c, this is d. Okay, then the sine c plus sine d would be represented by sine of c plus sine of d equal to 2 sine c plus d by 2 into cos c minus d by 2. This formula we have to use here. Now just put the values and rewrite the equations. So sine c plus d is this. Now here we assume this as a c, we assume this as a d term. Now apply the formula. You can write y equal to, a is common here and here, take it outside. Sine c plus d, sine this, so sine of 2 sine, so it is twice a. This 2 comes here, a is common, twice a. Sine c plus d, sine of, so it is sine of c plus d, this plus this. Okay, now see what we can write here. This 2 pi nt minus 2 pi x by lambda, you can write 2 pi nt minus 2 pi x by lambda, this first term, plus 2 pi nt, okay, plus 2 pi x by lambda. This sine term plus this cos c minus d. C is this, cos of, c means what? 2 pi nt minus 2 pi x by lambda. Instead of plus sign, here should be minus 2 pi nt minus 2 pi x by lambda. 2 pi x by lambda. So we get this equation. From this, if we consider here minus 2 pi x by lambda plus 2 pi x by lambda, this get cancelled out. Okay, and one thing is remaining, divide by 2. So this is divide by 2 here, divide by 2 here. So 2 pi x by lambda, 2 pi x by lambda cancelled out. Similarly, in this case, plus 2 pi nt minus 2 pi nt cancelled out. So we can write the same equation. I will like little bit to this side. Same equation can be written as y equal to twice a sine of, in the bracket, 2 pi nt plus 2 pi nt, 4 pi nt divide by 2. So it is 4 pi nt divide by 2 into cos of, here 2 pi x by lambda minus 2 pi x by lambda minus 2 pi x by lambda, minus minus becomes plus, plus 4 pi x by lambda divide by 2. 4 pi x divided by lambda divided by 2 means divide by 2 lambda with a minus sign as it is. We get this equation. Now in this equation, just remember 2 4s are, here it is 2. Okay, 2 4s are, here it is 2. So you can write this as twice a. I will write this first term now, near to twice a. Twice a. Cos of minus theta is what? Cos theta it is. It is twice a cos of 2 pi x by lambda. We have removed the minus sign here because cos of minus theta is cos theta itself, into sine of 2 pi nt. So this equation we get y equal to twice a cos of 2 pi x by lambda into 2 pi nt. Now put here in this equation, if we put one term a equal to twice a cos of 2 pi x by lambda. If we put this value here in this equation, we can write y equal to a sine of 2 pi n into t. 2 pi n is nothing but what? Omega. So we can write this a sine omega t, because 2 pi n is omega. Okay, how it becomes omega? N is a frequency, so frequency reciprocal of time, 2 pi divided by t, and that is nothing but omega. If you remember, t equal to 2 pi by omega, t equal to 2 pi by omega, so omega equal to 2 pi by t. So from this, just we can write this equation, and from this equation we can say that particles are performing simple harmonic motion. Okay, but there is no phase difference, only omega t. But remember, in this equation, this is a is said to be amplitude, and this amplitude is given by this equation. Amplitude has a term of x, so amplitude depend on displacement of the wave, but amplitude depend on the displacement of the wave. That's why this is the wave which is other than the progressive wave, and that means what? These waves are not a progressive wave, simple harmonic progressive wave. These are said to be stationary waves. Why they are said to be stationary? X is not changing. With respect to x, only amplitude is changing, but the wave is not changing, and that's why it is said to be stationary wave, the wave which is not moving with a velocity. Velocity of that wave is 0. So this is resultant equation as we get. Now apart from this, here we have to consider the definition as they have given in your book. Just see the italic lines, italic, just tilted lines they have given on page number 138, right hand side. Last 3 lines. When two identical waves traveling along same path in opposite direction interfere with each other, and resultant wave produced, which has a loop-like structure, is called as a stationary wave. This part already we have learned. Okay, we have seen this part. Now there are two conditions we have seen in stationary wave. Node are formed as well as antinodes are formed. What is meant by node? Node is a point in the stationary wave pattern where the frequency, where the amplitude is 0 or displacement is 0. Antinode is a point in a stationary wave pattern where amplitude is maximum, or we can say displacement is maximum. So accordingly, here we have to derive the conditions. Condition for node and antinode we have to derive by the equation of amplitude here. Because for antinode, amplitude is maximum, means A is maximum. At a node, amplitude is 0, means A is 0. Accordingly, we have to derive the condition. So let's go to that conditions now. What are the conditions for formation of node and antinode in stationary wave? I hope that you got this mathematical equation. Nothing is there to explain in this mathematical equation. It's very simple mathematics of the level of 9 standard to 10 standard. Okay, let's go further. So here we have to start with this. So let's start with here the condition for first condition for, according to book we'll go, it is node they have taken. Condition for node. Let's see the condition for node. Node is a point in stationary wave where the amplitude is 0, displacement is 0, means amplitude is 0. So put this A equal to 0. So what we can write as A equal to twice A cos 2 pi x divided by lambda. This is the amplitude, and for the node condition, this amplitude is 0, means what? 2A cos 2 pi x by lambda is 0. That is a simple condition. This must be equal to 0. If this is 0, so twice A never be 0. 2 is a number. A never be 0. Twice A never be 0. So what should be the 0 term? Cos of 2 pi x divided by lambda must be 0. If cos of theta is 0, in case of node, this A equal to 0 means what we get here? Cos of this equal to 0. Cos theta is 0 means theta equal to what? The condition when cos theta is 0 means theta must be 90 degrees, means pi by 2. So there are some conditions. When this theta is equal to, that means 2 pi x divided by lambda equal to either pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, and so on. Means in short, odd multiple of pi by 2, then and only then cos of theta is 0. Okay. Now from this, if this is the condition, pi from left side and all pi's from right hand side of the equation get cancelled out. Find out the value of x. So this implies that x equal to, this 2 goes to denominator, lambda goes to numerator. 2 2s are 4. Lambda goes to numerator, so it becomes lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4, 5 lambda by 4, and 7 lambda by 4, and so on. So these are the conditions when x is lambda by 4 or 3 lambda by 4, 5 lambda by 4. In general, odd multiple of lambda by 4 at that places on x-axis, definitely there is a formation of node, and these are said to be conditions for node. In general, you can write this as x equal to 2p minus 1 lambda by 4. 2p minus 1 lambda by 4, where p varies from 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity. Let's start with the p equal to 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. It is 1 lambda by 4 means lambda by 4. First condition. Put p equal to 2. 2 into 2s are 4. 4 minus 1 is what? 3. 3 lambda by 4. Second condition, and so on. So in general, this is the condition for formation of node. This is the condition for formation of node. And here from this, as from the first condition, if we take this 2, this is node, this again the node. Okay, adjacent node. This is adjacent node. These two are adjacent node. This and these two are adjacent node, and so on. If we subtract them, 3 lambda by 4 minus lambda by 4, you get it as a lambda by 2. So the two adjacent node are separated by distance of lambda by 2. That we can find out. This 3 lambda by 4 minus lambda by 4, lambda by 2. 5 lambda by 4 minus 3 lambda by 4, lambda by 2. That means it will give what? The condition that two adjacent node get different, or we can say displaced by distance of lambda by 2, separated by distance of lambda by 2. So these are the conditions for node. Similarly, we have to derive the condition for anti-node. So let's start with the second condition. I will write that second conditions here. For conditions for anti-node. Let's start with this. What exactly anti-node? Anti-node is a point in stationary wave where the amplitude is maximum. Okay, amplitude is maximum, and as we know, A equal to twice A cos of 2 pi x divided by lambda. So it is maximum. It is maximum, and maximum value of cos is what? Plus minus 1. It is plus minus 1. So we can say, maximum value of amplitude is maximum means if this is 1, amplitude is plus 2a. If it is minus 1, amplitude is minus 2a. So the condition is what? Amplitude is equal to plus minus twice a. That is a condition is said to be antinode, is the point where amplitude is maximum. Amplitude is maximum when this is equal to 1, and that means what? 1 into twice a is plus twice a, minus 1 into twice a is minus 2a. So a equal to plus minus 2a is the condition. Now just put it here. Okay, so just move this twice a to that side. You can write cos of 2 pi x divided by lambda. Twice a divided by twice a, it is plus minus 1. 3 pi, then it must be 5 pi because it is odd multiple, and so on. Now put this value, find the value of x. X equal to, it goes here 0. Second condition, lambda by 2. Third condition, thrice lambda by 2. Fourth condition, 5 lambda by 2, and so on. In this fashion it goes. Now in general you can write x equal to p into lambda by 2. Lambda by 2 is common here, so it is a common condition. P into lambda by 2, where p varies from 0, 1, 2, so on. When it is 0, x equal to 0. P equal to 1, 1 into lambda by 2 is lambda by 2. P equal to 2, 2 lambda by 2. Okay. P equal to 2, it is 2 lambda by 2. Just see the condition. 2 lambda by 2 we get. So 2 lambda by 2, lambda get cancelled out, it becomes 2. So in this fashion, it goes ahead. Lambda p divided by 2 or p lambda by 2. In this case, you can find the conditions here for antinodes. So here the stationary wave either formed by transverse wave or longitudinal wave. The transverse wave formation was given in your book on page number 137, on page number 137, figure 6.8a. Formation of stationary wave by longitudinal wave, that was given by the figure 6.8b. Just go and revise it, just nothing to explain, just you have to read the blue color heading of that figure. You understand well what is the meaning of that. Let's go further. The properties of stationary wave. Little at most we have seen maximum properties of stationary wave, so we will revise it once. So we'll go one by one. If something is there to explain, I will tell you. So let's start with the first. Stationary waves are produced due to superposition of two identical waves. Identical waves, either transverse or longitudinal, traveling through a medium along the same path, but they must be in opposite direction. That already we have seen. That is the definition of stationary wave. Let's go to second property. If two identical waves, two identical transverse progressive wave superimpose or interface, the resultant wave is a transverse stationary wave. That I have told you. Figure 6.8a, that is for transverse stationary wave. And transverse wave, longitudinal wave are the type of progressive wave. So it is said to be transverse, progressive, transverse. Just they have used the one word in your book. So they have used the word in your book, that is superimpose interface, transverse stationary wave, or sometimes said to be transverse progressive stationary wave, as well as longitudinal progressive stationary waves. You can use any one. Then the next one they have mentioned in the two, they have made 3 sub point. Let's go to first. When a transverse stationary wave is produced on a string, some point on the strings are motionless. They are not moving up and down. They steady at a rest, motionless, and that points are said to be node, where amplitude is 0, displacement is 0. This already we have seen. And there are some points which are oscillate or vibrate with a maximum amplitude. They are said to be antinode. That also we have seen. Then next one, point between node and antinode vibrate. The particle between node and antinode, they vibrate with an amplitude between 0 and a. What is the meaning of this? Suppose I have drawn this as a one part and this is another wave. This is going here, this is coming here. So this is node, this is antinode, and this is node. What is the meaning of this property? This antinode vibrates with the maximum amplitude. Suppose this amplitude is A amplitude. Here the amplitude A is 0. Then the remaining particle between node and antinode, they vibrate with the velocity amplitude. The remaining particle between node and antinode, they vibrate with the amplitude of 0 minimum to maximum. And that they have mentioned in that property. I hope you got that. Let's go further. If two identical longitudinal progressive wave superimpose or interfere, the resultant wave is said to be longitudinal stationary waves. That already we have seen the figure A and B, 6.8a and B. Okay, longitudinal stationary wave get formed. The stationary wave sound should produce in a pipe, close at one end or open at both ends. See, a sound wave is a longitudinal wave, and that can be applicable to pipes only. How we can apply it to pipes, that we will see in the next topics. Let's go further. The point at which amplitude of particle of medium is minimum is called node. It is same. Again antinode, it is same. Remaining point between node and antinode vibrate at amplitude of 0 and a, that is same. Let's go to next, fourth property. Distance between two consecutive means nearest node or antinode is lambda by 2. That already we have seen. Node and antinode are separated by lambda by 2. See, this is half wave we have considered. I will revise once again. This is half wave. Okay. So the total wave comes here like this. So this distance is what? Lambda. Now this distance is what? Lambda by 2. So antinode and node are separated by distance of what? This is lambda by 2. Okay. So two adjacent node are this. These two adjacent node are separated by distance of lambda by 2. Adjacent antinode again lambda by 2. Antinode and node, this distance is what? It is lambda by 4. That already we have seen. Same thing they have mentioned here. Distance between two consecutive means nearest node is lambda by 2. Antinode is also lambda by 2. Node and antinodes are produced alternatively. Definitely one node then antinode, then node, and so on. Alternatively, they get formed in stationary wave pattern that they have mentioned. The distance between node and adjacent antinode is lambda by 4. See, node and adjacent antinode is lambda by 4. That already I have told you. Let's go first. Let's go to next. The amplitude of vibration varies periodically in space. All points vibrate with the same frequency. Amplitude varies with a periodically in space. Space means what? If this distance for first cycle, same distance they will take for second, same distance they get for third, and so on. So the wave repeated again and again in equal distance, and that is said to be space. Amplitude of vibration varies periodically in space, periodically repeated. All point vibrate with the same frequency. Now they have used amplitude varied. So see, suppose this distance is x. Start here, amplitude increases, maximum again decreases. Okay, again next cycle 0. Again increases, maximum becomes 0. Again this distance must be what? X. Then and only then we can say periodic in space, and amplitude varies here. Let's go to next. Though all particle, the amplitude of vibration varies periodically in space, all point vibrate with the same frequency. Frequency is same because time period is same. Let's go to next. Though all particle except those at node, they are not vibrating. Remaining all particle vibrates or they possess some energy. There is no propagation of energy. This point to remember. There is no propagation means transfer of energy. Wave is localized, remains as it is, stationary because its velocity is 0. Therefore, their wave are said to be stationary waves. Let's go to next. All particle between adjacent node vibrate in phase. All particle between adjacent node in one loop vibrate in phase. There is no progressive change of phase from one particle to other particle. All particles in same loop are in the same phase of oscillation. What is the meaning of this? These two loops I have drawn. Here in this first loop, if the particles are vibrating like this, suppose we have represented by upward arrow, all these particles must be in same phase. All these particles must be in same phase in single loop. But what will occur to adjacent loop? If you go to adjacent loop, if they are going up, they move exactly opposite in downward direction. So the particle from the adjacent loop, this and this, they are out of phase. But particle within this loop, they are in phase. Within this loop, again they are in phase. They just try to explain this by property A. After that, there is a comparison. Comparison of progressive wave and stationary wave. It is very simple to explain the comparison. Let's start with the first. In progressive wave, disturbance travel from one region to other with definite velocity. Progressive wave has some velocity. Stationary wave, its velocity is 0. That's why it is said to be stationary. The first thing, first comparison or difference. Second, progressive wave, amplitude of all particles are same. Amplitude of all particles are same in progressive wave. But in case of stationary wave, as we have seen, amplitude changes from 0 to A. So that is a condition for stationary wave. In stationary wave, all particle crosses their mean position simultaneously. See, all particle crosses this way. This goes up, come down, again goes up. So they will cross this blue line. And this blue line is means what? Mean position in stationary wave. But this does not happen in case of progressive wave. Progressive wave, such type of thing never occur because it has a single wave. It is traveling. Here it goes up and down, so they vibrate along the mean position in stationary wave. The energy is transmitted from one region to another region in progressive wave because particle can give the energy to neighbor wave is moving with some velocity. But in stationary wave, there is no transfer of energy because velocity is 0. Energy cannot transfer. Let's go to next and the last. All particles between two consecutive nodes are moving in same phase, same direction and are in phase, while those in adjacent loop are moving in opposite direction and are differ in phase by 180 degrees. That we have seen. Differ in phase in case of stationary wave, and such thing cannot occur in case of progressive wave. Phases of adjacent particles are different. In case of progressive wave, the things are different. Now after that, there is the next topic, free and force vibration. If you remember, This free oscillations we have learned and force oscillations we have learned. Free and force vibration here in this topic. Initially we have learned in the chapter of oscillation, free and force oscillations. Oscillations and vibrations are same. Okay, maybe amplitude get different, but mostly the vibrations are said to be oscillations. So this topic is same as that of we have seen in oscillation. Only difference is what? In this topic, what they try to explain you, they try to tell you that what is the difference between free oscillation or free vibration and force oscillation or force vibration. That difference they have find out within this topic. So I would like to give homework to all of you. It's very simple to understand. Just read this both topic, free vibration and force vibration. In force vibration, one topic comes as a resonance, that also we have seen in oscillation. So from this, just you have to take one white page. On that page, just fold it at the center, make it 2 columns. Write down the first free vibration, second one as a force vibration. Try to find out 4 to 5 differences between free vibration and force vibration. I know that by reading this topic, you definitely able to find it out. So do it at your home. That is homework to all of you. The next topic is harmonic and overtone. That we will see later on, because now we have finished today's time. So we will see that later on. So remember, when you see my video at the same time, put a book in front of you, because when I read some point in your book, you must see that point and you can understand. You can pause my video, read that point twice. After I have finished, read it twice, you get understanding of that point. I hope you got this. If you have any problem, you can call anytime, or you can message me on my WhatsApp number that all of you have. Thank you.